D. Alright, I'm getting my stuff set up here. I'm gonna do Kraven the Hunter sketch this morning. Gonna do my usual and share this to a couple places real quick. Let's see. Share my page. Post it there. Let's see. Share to a group. Hopefully I'm okay to share it there. Alright, open the chat up. Alright. James, good morning. Thanks for joining in. Sorry, I stepped away for a second there. I wanted to get the stuff shared away and set up on everything. So I'm going to draw Kraven the Hunter here. Start with my usual. Start roughing out some simple shapes here. Anybody's got any questions or whatever on drawing, feel free to chime in, throw stuff in the comments there. Going to I was gonna share this off to one more person. Alright. So I always break these down to some simple shapes first. Try to figure out where everything's going to go, kind of map it out. Rough in the giant lion's mane here. So anybody that might be joining in, if you haven't watched me doing this during the week, this is my routine to do a quick little head sketch, get warmed up for the day, get hand, arm, all that kind of stuff up and moving here. And then once I get a chance to finish up some of these, I'm going to do some sort of sail. As of right now, it looks like some of these might be going into gallery show I've got coming up at the local brewery for the month of May. So we'll see how this all pans out. I got to see if that actually still goes on, because it's a possibility they'll be opening back up in May. So I'll probably have my work at the brewery on display, but I guess it all depends on what happens come the start of May with our new quarantine orders or whatnot. So they may be going for sale first that way, then I'll offer them up. I don't know. We'll see how that all plays out. It's a curveball that kind of got thrown into the mix yesterday when they announced they were going to start opening stuff back up. Good morning, John. Thanks for joining in again. Yeah, that's well, they said they're going to start easing up the orders, I guess, starting May 1st, but they haven't specified yet what will be essential and non-essential. So I don't know. Won't know that stuff until they finally make all the announcements here. So if that's the case, if the brewery opens back up and they start allowing customers actually in the place to sit down and eat, some of the stuff will probably be on display there. If that's not the case, then I'll immediately put these guys up for sale. Probably start off with like a live sale, and then post up pictures and whatnot on Facebook and on my web store. And hopefully later today I'll stream some more stuff. I got some project stuff wrapped up last night, so I'm going to start chugging away on commissions again as much as possible in between what projects I've got on the list yet. So I've got to knock out colors on the cover from Rot today, and then I'm gonna start back up on trying to stream commissions. So hopefully I'll be back later today. I've got a Conan that's ready for coloring, so I might jump on and get that colored today, and then squeeze in some other stuff here and there. Captain's Cold Sketch. James, you're way down on the list here. Let me see where you're at. I've got like 30 plus commissions. I know you're looking to have it for, I believe it was for a June convention. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit before I get to that. Because out of like the 30 some I've got on the list, you're looks like about 7 from the end of the list there. So I'll keep you posted on it as usual. Tina, good morning. Thanks for joining in. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see. not understand what you do. Hey, you're watching. You left a comment, so I guess that's the first start. If you haven't yet, hit the old like, follow, subscribe button on the Twitch there, and you should be good to rock and roll. I think that's really all there is to it. Guess with this whole thing, interaction is the key, which is why I'm doing it. It just gives me an opportunity to chat with everybody, hang out, and make somewhat of a convention experience virtually. So I roughed all my stuff out here with I believe this is 4H. Yeah. So yeah, start with a 4H lead. Relatively hard, keeps the drawing pretty light. Kind of go and get my building blocks, so to speak, my foundation for the drawing. Then I go back in with a H lead, which is significantly softer, darker, and allows me to go in and do the details. It's not so soft that I'm not making a giant smudged graphite mess all over the place. It does smudge a little bit depending on the paper stock. I worked on some illustration board the other day, which got a little bit of tooth to it, and I made an absolute mess on it. So I go ahead and start adding details here. Start tightening up the drawing. This will be something I ink myself, so I keep it a little bit looser than if I were having somebody else ink my work. If I were having somebody else ink it, I tend to go quite a bit tighter so that they don't have to read my mind as much for what I picture going into the piece. Doesn't happen a whole lot that I have somebody else ink stuff, but those occasions that I do, that's typically what I shoot for. Alright, I'm probably going to butcher this up. Failchild Joe. Hopefully I read that right, sorry. Names are tiny on the iPad trying to read the chat thing here. Thanks for joining in, thanks for watching. And I've got a comment from Forney Art. My wife is watching in the living room while I'm in the studio. But thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions while I'm drawing here, if you want any want to know anything about how I'm working on this, feel free to ask. Throw stuff in the chat area there. Awesome. Move my list out of the way. Okay. There we go. Apparently my list was too far into camera. So for anybody that just joined in and started watching, so this is my morning warm up. Get the juices flowing drawing here. Been taking suggestions all week. Started adding to the list of things to do for for daily little sketches. These things are eventually going to be put up for sale, and as I was explaining earlier, possibly going into the gallery show I've got going on at the local brewery for the month of May. He does look like creepy Jon Snow. You know, if Jon Snow wasn't playing Black Knight, maybe he could make a smaller Kraven the Hunter. I agree with everybody else. I think they should get Jason Momoa to play Kraven. They already had the one actor in Spider-Man Far From Home that his name was same name as Chameleon, which is Kraven's half brother, I think. I'm gonna butcher another name, B Hugs. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Yeah, Jon Snow, Wolverine love child. Hey, my choice for a new Wolverine was actually Kit Harington. I would have liked to seen that, but again, he's playing Black Knight. I think he'll do well with that. Kevin, what's going on? Thanks for joining in. Hopefully I'm connecting the name with the right thing here. I do believe I did some Aquaman sketches for you, or a Aquaman sketch. Finished off your one book there. And Ian made sure I have Aquaman on my list, so he'll be coming up on one of these drawing sessions. Cameron, good morning. Thanks for joining in, man. So these are my morning little warm-up sketch sessions here for anybody that's just joining in and hasn't watched yet. Trying to do these each day is kind of my virtual convention experience, since like all cons are either canceled or postponed at the moment, and apparently, as I saw last night, almost all conventions are falling in September for the ones that have been postponed. Awesome, Kevin. John. Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Pen Pro, thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, I like the idea of like I said, Jason Momoa. I think he would make an awesome Kraven. And I think he would kind of work with, like I said, they had the one dude that at least the name matched up to be Chameleon. Whether or not he actually ends up being Chameleon, they kind of had a similar look. I think that would work well. You could believe that there was some sort of relation between the two actors. When do I think all the corona will be over? I have no idea. I wish I did. My guess is once they get that vaccine. I appreciate that. Thank you. B Hugs. Again, hope I'm saying that right. How much should I draw on tablets, computer, Wacom? Quite a bit, actually. So I've got one iPad in front of me reading, so I can read the comments here, and then I've got another iPad sitting next to me that's got reference pulled up on Kraven. But I have been using Clip Studio Paint and a little bit of Procreate on the iPad, and I work a lot as a colorist, so I use my Cintiq a ton. I'd say most days it's probably like almost a 50-50 split between going digital versus traditional. Some days it's, more of a like say 75 split of it being more digital, just because I spend more time doing that stuff. I don't know, for me, I still can't beat traditional stuff for getting the look and feel I want for a finished piece. And I think that's just because I'm not comfortable enough with doing some of the work digitally. Patrick, good morning. Hey, somebody else in agreement. And yeah, San Diego being canceled was a bummer. Pen Pro, any of this stuff, even though, people call it talent's like literal definition is an aptitude towards a particular subject or whatever. So it's, I just, my brain's geared towards doing this, but I still have to spend, just like anybody else, just like playing a sport or anything like that, lots and lots of practice. I do this every day. Brad, I'm assuming that's your name. Sorry, some of the questions are getting jumbled and out of order, so I'm trying to keep up here. I saw that photo of Bruce Campbell as Mr. Sinister. I think that would be kind of cool. Don't really see him as that type of character, but I could see it working. Any issues with losing details pulling images from tablet to computer? Not that I can think of. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, again, the whole practice thing. I try to work at doing a lot of this quick, and it's just again that hours and hours of practice. It's muscle memory. I always compare it to, you play an instrument or play a sport. After you do it so long, you can kind of almost do it without looking, or do it in your sleep, or like I'm doing. I sit here and ramble and try to work on something, much like a convention. So again, this is my virtual convention experience I can offer for anybody. This is what happens when you try to talk to me at a con. Let's see. So yeah, back to the tablet computer thing. The one thing I can say is just I think some of it's tool stuff that I've got to find the right particular tool for drawing to get the look that I like, because I want it to look as close as I can to my traditional stuff. And I haven't quite worked that out yet, just because I don't do it enough, I think. But yeah, as far as last month, I finished up. My wife and I have a create our own book called Scarlet Huntress, and we did Kickstarter for it last year, and I was finishing up the book, and I did one of the stories. Basically, I did all the pencils 100% digital, and I inked half of the pages. I think it was an 8-9 page story, and I inked it, but to me the inks just came across flat, I guess is the best way to put it. Processed, it was looked too digital to me. I wasn't able to translate it well enough, and again, I think that's just an issue of I just don't have enough experience with trying to work that way, because usually if I'm going to ink something, I break out a crow quill and a brush and some actual ink, and I just haven't found the right stuff to translate that well. But I've been using Clip Studio Paint for the most part to do those pages digitally and do the other stuff digitally, and it's nice because I can add the stuff to my Dropbox and transfer the files back and forth, and I don't seem to lose anything as far as the details or anything like that, because it's the same program back and forth. So I think that translates well as far as the actual internal language of the software. So hopefully that answers your question there. That was a long-winded roundabout way of explaining that, but that's the best way I can think of to kind of get at what it's like for me, at least, working digitally on the tablet versus computer. Yes, Kevin, that is 100% right. So yeah, so anybody watching on the other platforms, he's saying when someone asks how long it takes to do something, the answer is years and years, some talent and years of hard work, and it's totally true. It's it's not the it took me a couple hours to do the piece. Yeah, it took me a couple hours to sit there and maybe actually do it, but you also got to figure in those 20 some odd years of practice, beforehand. And it's totally true. I mean, again, I usually compare it to like playing a sport or an instrument. It's like, yeah, I can sit there and play you this song, but it took me a long time to learn how to play the song accurately. Yes, and John put it same way. Drawing is just 20 minutes of a lifetime of work, and it's true. It'd be the same for any kind of any type of skill, welding, being an electrician. You got to spend a lot of time learning how to do it and then do it. Put those skills to use. I think since I gave my spiel at the beginning, and I've had a few folks join in that started watching, and especially it looks like I've got a few folks on some other platforms that are watching. So these sketches, once I get them done, I'm going to put them up for sale at some point in time, and I'll post all that information on my social media stuff. And I should have links to everything, but I'll probably throw up some links on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that kind of thing, once this stuff's available, once I get it finished. My plan is to ink color most all of these that I've done, and keep working on stuff throughout the coming weeks of quarantine con here. The only stuff I throw away, as far as like, you're saying you don't throw away original drawings. Most of the stuff I either, keep it somewhere, or obviously, it gets sold off. But I sometimes have problems like parting with, like, I do a bunch of preliminary sketches that I'll rough out on just, scrap paper or whatever. That even those is kind of like, can I hang on to this to use later on or something? Thinking Craven should be a big, hairy, burly dude here. Alright, I think I've got him pretty well roughed out, and from here I'd basically start doing some inks on them, which I'm going to do at a later time, and I'll probably try to stream some of inks and colors on some of these pieces once I kind of get caught up with some commissions and whatnot. But if anybody's got any questions before I wrap up, feel free to throw them in the little chat comment stuff. My game plan is, as I try to get these done and work through stuff, I'm gonna try to keep going each morning, hopefully about the same time, somewhere around 10 a.m. Do some sketches, and then I'll later in the day stream some commissions and whatnot. So anybody that's new, if you haven't followed any of the stuff, feel free to do so if you want to follow along with these things. I'll keep posting stuff, and I'll do my best to offer up some tips, tricks, whatever. Shane, thank you. Thanks for joining in. So yeah, this is my my chance to offer up some like virtual convention experience. So anybody that wants to join in the stuff, if you like the stuff, I'll try to throw out some posts in advance to let everybody know when I'm going to go live. So I got hopefully got a decent Craven sketch here that I was able to knock out in 30 some minutes. But I've got a list of a handful of characters I'm going to try to do, and anybody wants to throw out other characters I can throw on the list. I'm just kind of picking and choosing what I think will go over well, and kind of the point of this is to offer these guys up for sale eventually. So I'm going to do some stuff that I think fans would like to see. So feel free to throw any of those suggestions out there. So there is Craven the Hunter. I appreciate all you guys that came in to hang out, chat, ask questions, and all that. I'll keep this up here for a minute. Like I said, if anybody's got any questions or whatever, throw them in there. I'll keep coming on and post some stuff. I'll post pictures of finished pieces and in progress stuff as well. And I think that about wraps it up for this morning. So again, guys, I appreciate you all that been here. Guys like John who've been following along almost every day. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody that shared the videos too. I know a number of you guys have posted it in all the groups and stuff, so I appreciate that. Appreciate you hanging out, chatting, and all that. But yeah, guys, thanks so much. Thanks for following along on all the different stuff. See that I got a few new folks that watched on Twitch. I appreciate that. I'm slowly inching really close to getting the affiliate status, so I'm working my way towards that. Louis, when's the next live sale? I don't have it planned out yet, honestly. The last one that I did, you guys depleted the stuff pretty well. So I'm gonna do some stuff. All right, Steph's telling me probably first week in May, which gives me the opportunity to point out, if you guys haven't voiced your opinion, I'm planning for the month of May to do either a Do You Poo or a Hardly Thin variant. So I was asking everybody what's your preferences, and so far Hardly is in the lead by a lot. So it's more than likely going to be a Hardly cover. I'm going to talk with Marat and make sure I'm all squared away to get going on that here soon so I can have it ready. So I'll start posting teases of it once I get going on it. I know a couple people threw out some ideas. I've got an idea in mind that I've had in mind for quite a while, so that's what I'm going to start with first, and then, if I get a chance to do some other stuff, maybe I'll work those in. So that's going on, so yeah. Look for that stuff, hopefully first week in May. And then depending on whether or not I have the gallery show at the brewery, which, Shane, if we're open back up and able to hang out, I'm going to have stuff on display at Restoration, where you guys came down back in December. Kirk, thank you. I believe this was your suggestion the other day. Maybe I'm mistaken on that, but thank you. Thanks for coming to check it out. If anybody is in Ohio and in the Columbus area, I'll put up some information once I know what to go, but my work will be on display at Restoration Brewworks here in Delaware. It's a local brewery / restaurant. I did it last year. A buddy of mine had his stuff up on display. I think it was in December into January, somewhere in that time frame. And I know the Cram Boys all showed up, so if you guys want to come and hang out, if that ends up being the case, I have no idea yet. Obviously, Governor hasn't made enough announcements yet, so we'll see what happens. And then, depending on how that goes, if that happens, whatever, then I'll put up some of these pieces for the live sale. So, yeah, just keep an eye on all the social media stuff, and we'll keep that posted. Anthony, what's up? Thanks for coming and checking out the live stream, dude. Let's see if I'm getting the name right. B-Hugs Brad, I hope it was. I hope I got it right. Toledo area. I'm actually originally from the Toledo area. So, yeah, if you want to venture down in next month, if the restaurant is open and puts the stuff on display, on my overlay, you should see the Facebook thing, the Sean Forney illustration. That's my Facebook page. I will probably set up an event on there if you want to follow the Facebook page for more information. I'll try to post and keep making announcements through these live streams. you know, once I know the details, if it's a go. If not, you know, obviously you can follow the page for more updates on other stuff like conventions whenever those start back up, um, as well as doing any of these live streams and whatnot. I'll have all that. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up so I can go get to working on this cover that I gotta get finished up. Again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out, chatting, and all that. Keep an eye out. Hopefully later today you'll see me at the very least coloring a Conan commission, maybe working on some other stuff. But I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much.